Ooh, I don't think this is gonna work. It's at like 10% battery, so it's probably gonna die. I was just thinking about these glasses. Actually, these are the same fitted over glasses, whatever, sunglasses things, and they don't fit on my new glasses. And I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to buy something new. And I was like, well, I don't like buying new things. Like, I would like to avoid buying things that are new, just in general. And these ones did not fit. The hooks didn't fit around the top. So I was trying to think of what to do to them and what to do for them. And I'm like, just buy the new ones. Just buy new ones that are sized correctly. It's fine. You know, you make a lot of use out of them. Your eyes are terrible in the sunlight. Just buy new ones. And I was like, all right, okay. Easy. But when I get around to it, I will buy new ones. And I was thinking about them. And I was like, you know, they don't fit because of those top hooks. Maybe the top hooks can come off. Like, if I just remove the top hooks, maybe I can just, like, hook them on the sides or 3D print some hooks for the top or something. There's got to be something I can do, because they're basically trash at this point. So, like, I was going to throw them out. So I grabbed them. I took the top hooks on them. I grabbed my pliers. So I'll just bend these off. So I bent it, you know, 90 degrees, and the hook was just up. And I was like, well, that's weird, because I kind of expected it to be made of cheap pot metal, and I expected it to just break as soon as I bent it. So, completely unexpected. And just like, well, maybe it'll do it on the other side. So I did it on the other side and bent 90 degrees. I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. So my next step is to bend them back and forth until they anneal and break off. But while it's out of the way, those upper hooks were kind of the reason that it wouldn't fit. So I put them on my glasses, and hey presto, they fit. They didn't quite sit right, and they didn't hook along the top, but they did fit. So I was like, well, what would make these better? It's like, if I could get that hook with it was a 90 degree bend, and I hooked it up. If I could get a little bit of hook at the end of it. All right, grab the pliers. Again, I'm working with trash, basically. This is something that is basically scrap. I'm going to throw it out if it doesn't work. Bend it back, and hey presto, these fit, and they lock on. They fit really well, and they stay on. Just try stuff. I need to put together all my just try stuff compilation of times that I just try stuff and things go exceedingly well. I did there was a short project this weekend. We have some slats of wood. It was pretty good wood. That was from a previous bed, I think. It's just slats of wood. We had a stack of them, and I'm like, yeah, we could use this for something sometime, eventually. So I had those slats of wood, and we had this large table that was made of cheap wood, but still a good table, that we wanted to put legs on. And I was like, all right, what do we have? Like, we've got enough materials. I'll figure it out. Like, I don't even know what we have or how I'm going to do it, but I'll just figure it out. Because that's just how I do projects. It's like, when I have too many when I have too many resources, I get analysis paralysis. I try to figure out the best way to apply those resources. When I have extremely limited resources, I get creative, and there's one solution, and it's very obvious what that solution is. So I don't have a lot of hardware. I have a lot of hand-me-downs from other people and other places and other projects. So I had some solid wood brads that worked. So I measured everything out, and I needed to make 4 legs for a table, and I had 8 slats of wood. And the original idea was to make, 4 of them together to make a leg. And I was like, well, technically, the most mechanical motion we really need is just covered by 2. We can make a little L shape. And I had these, like, I guess they're just wood fasteners. They look like drywall screws, but they're not. Or drywall nails, but they're not. So jigged everything up, marked everything off, and drove them through, and I have a nice little L shape of wood. Everything fit nicely together. And then let's see, I had to make a jig out of everything, a jig for drilling all of it. And I just used a piece of wood that was chopped off the end, and marked my drill holes, and then I just flipped it around and used it in the different spots so that I could make little pilot holes. And sure enough, everything drilled together perfectly. I did drill out the wrong side of 2 of the legs, so that was one screw up, but I drilled out the other side. It wasn't that big of a deal. The point was, I had no idea how I was going to do it, but when you give me all the Lego pieces and all the tools, I can sit there and play around with them until I figure out something that will work. And then afterwards, I thought about it. I was like, what if I only had 4 legs or 4 pieces of wood? If I had half the materials? Like, well, probably would have figured out a way to set up the stand so that set up the legs so that they were, I'll put them at a 45-degree angle. Oh dear. We've got ants all over the place. Not those little normal ants. There's a big ants, which I don't know why they're so big. But there's one in my passenger seat. He wants some of my coffee. No. Call the police. No, don't call the police. And I probably would have just used those slats. The table is square. I probably would have put the slats like this and like this, at 45-degree angles. And that probably would have worked. As long as you drill out the materials correctly and use the correct screws, lag screws, you can get a solid lockup. And it came out really nice. And I guess I'm not kind of surprised, but I'm just kind of surprised at my process. My process is always, this is what my process is. It's just figuring out something that might work, and then figuring you might have enough, and then trying stuff. Just try stuff. I guess the worst thing that happens is you get an interesting idea but don't have the materials, and then you keep an eye out for the materials later on. I think that's all I've got. I'm trying to watch the road while... I would rather not have the ant crawling on me while I drive. This is exciting stuff. This is drama. Drama you're unfamiliar with in these vlags. Dun 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 dun. We'll try make it. You will. I made it. I've survived. But at what cost? Only time will tell.